reel, and so he and I would fish together in the morning, but after that happened, he was like not sure he wanted any part of that. I wasn't sure I wanted. I didn't have any other gear either, so because I was on, you know, I wasn't on a fishing trip, I was on a family trip. But if you go out early, like I say, you can catch fish off the bank, all kinds. The Clouser minnow is really a super effective saltwater pattern, just like Lefty's deceivers are. And a fairly heavy eye, like I'm putting on here, and just figure eight it really well. Take some turns around the shank of the hook so it won't come loose. You have to, I'm not going to do it, but you have to cement that head down, or those eyes down, and using some super glue is a good way to do that. So, you know, bucktails are pretty cheap material. Wapsie Flies in Arkansas processes 80,000 bucktails a year. I'm like, where do you get 80,000 whitetail tails? I mean, God, it's not like I think that there's a place you can go and buy them. I mean, I can't think. You have to get them from hunters, I think. But boy, that'd be a ton.
I think they can get about 5 or 6 duck deer at a time down there.
Well, that is true. Some of those places, I mean, there are parts of Texas you're allowed.
Hardly any
I think
limit.
Georgia has a deer. You can get 1 deer a day all year long.
Well, maybe that's
That's
where.
your limit.
I want that.
As fast as you can shoot them.
I want that bottom part of this fly. I want that hair about twice as long. About twice as long as. I'm just going to use white. We're going to call that close enough. Fish don't care. You want it twice as long as the hook is.
Do you go with an 811 hook, or what do
I
you?
think this is a size 2 saltwater hook. I'll do them size 2s or an aught. Even an aught isn't too big. You do want to sharpen these. Some of these fish have really, really hard mouths, and it's hard to get that to hook them. Of course, like I say, and I'm going to cut that hair off at an angle so that I can, you know, make a head there. And then I'll just spiral that up the hook to hold that down and in place, and then bring it back like so. I'll even start to build up that head just a little bit. Now, and I don't know what the camera is going to do with me doing this, if you have a rotary vise, you don't need to do what I just did, turn it over. I like, this is actually a pattern that I came up with when I was on vacation fishing in Cape Cod. I'd been up fishing trout in New Hampshire, and all I had was a 508 rod, so I went fishing for stripers with a 508 rod, much to the amusement of the other fishermen around me. But I'm using I'm using like 8-pound test, and I can point the rod at this fish if I have to get loose from it. I like some kind of coppery color in there. Why it is that these fish seem to, they like some flash in there for sure. And I can bring it forward and tie over it again. And then I like some crystal flash that's a lighter color. And again, don't take this stuff out of the bag. Just cut a corner off of it and use it that way. Obviously, this is not a very delicate pattern. This is a big, hairy job. Yeah, I still dream about that fish. Golly, he hurt me. And he broke some equipment for me. What was kind of sad was that the rod that he broke, the tip on that company, it's one of my favorite 8-weights, but that company is no longer in business and I can't find a tip I can replace it with yet. Hopefully someday I will. I mostly like either green, chartreuse green, or some blue. Those are the two colors I most like. But like I say, you go down there to Mexico, you can catch all sorts of fish before your wife gets up. You got to be back before she gets up because they get a little funny about rods being loaded on a family trip. Unless she fishes, my wife does.
And you better have 2 rods.
It's expensive.
Yeah, I'd have just you're probably right. I probably just destroyed another rod. But I'm determined to be way more careful now about. Whew, that's ugly, isn't it? That sound. I will put some 5-minute epoxy on this head so that hair doesn't slip when those toothy